This is my review on 2017 movie of Logan. And I reviewed this film in the past, but the reason why I'm reviewing this film again because I feel like I kind of oversold it. As in giving more credit than it deserves. Not that I hate this film, I don't hate the film, I really like the film a lot. Love it. As a standalone film. But as a conclusion to a franchise of several franchises, that's a conclusion of 3 different franchises, X-Men, and also the Wolverine franchise, and also the X-Men prequel / alternate reality franchise. This is a conclusion to 3 different separate franchises. Both X-Men, one Wolverine, starring Hugh Jackman franchise. So when we take all of that in consideration, when I do, I don't really know how to feel about giving it. I'm not really sure if I should have ever given a 10 out of 10 because of that. Or even a 9 out of 10. I think the reason why I gave it a 10 out of 10 in the first place, or 9 out of 10 in the first place, or whatever I gave it in the past, in my reviews, is because I was so happy to see Wolverine being betrayed from the comics, like Wolverine from the comics. Especially during the 3rd act of the final battle, when he takes on the army. But then I realized something this night. It's not really focused on telling a conclusion. It's more focused on telling those stubborn Wolverine comic book fans and giving them, well, comic book eye candy. Basically feels like they're living some sort of incredible imaginary dream. What I'm trying to say is, I kissed this movie's ass and gave this movie much credit because it kissed my ass by fulfilling my dreams. But as a conclusion, it's kind of not great. It's kind of low on a conclusion list. It's like, yeah, it's a great movie on its own, and also a great comic book movie on its own. But as a conclusion, and that's also part of an ongoing franchise for many decades. Story-wise, I think they could have done better. Like, cinematic, action-wise, I think they did awesome. Succeeded at that. So, you're probably wondering what the plot of the film is to those who haven't seen it, right? Well, it's a road trip movie, actually, with Charles Logan, who is Wolverine, and Charles, who is also known as Professor X, now retired, and Wolverine's not retired. More than half of the mutants have been extinct that lived in, and also the half of the X-Men that were X-Men members on the planet are extinct, and guess music going extinct. So Wolverine and Charles, who Wolverine doesn't go by that name anymore, he just goes by Logan, are in hiding in the middle of nowhere in the desert, and this other mutant called Malakan is keeping them safe and out of under the radar in the desert. That means out of sight, public sight, and Logan is trying to get enough money to pay for a boat to get him and Charles, at least him and Charles, out of there. But not really concerned with Malacan, and he's like gets enough money he was planning on getting enough money for Malacan, not enough money for Malacan to get out of there, because and Malacan kind of figures that Wolverine doesn't plan on abandoning Malacan because he figures like because like he says like you do realize because he's like allergic because his skin's like it has small tolerance to sunlight, as in it's like acid to his skin. The sunlight, pure sunlight, for Malacan. And, Logan, gets an offer from this, Mexican girl who wants to, get her and the daughter to Mexico, and Logan to be the, driver to drive them there across the border. And she offers him this serious amount of incredible money that's more than enough to pay to solve Logan's problem. So he ends up rejecting, but then ends up taking the offer anyway. But when he comes back, oh, she's dead, a corpse. She's a dead corpse. Looks like she got murdered and kind of looks like she got shot in the head or something. It's like yes, but it looks pretty brutal actually. And when. Or I can't remember if she got shot in the head. Oh, look, I remember her just being very brutal and stuff when you saw the corpse. Her corpse was very brutal and gory and bloody, but like I can't remember what she died of. I'm a little confused how she died. I think she died shot by her ex, or well, no, I don't know if it's her ex, but anyway, it turns out I'm sorry, I'm getting confused out here. I've been up all night, okay? Literally, just this the night, okay? No more than one night I've been up for. So, getting things mixed up so a little. So, this guy, that's Cyborg, who's the daughter of this or stepfather was this girl, and the mother isn't really the mother. She's more this nerd that was working on children on Project Children, getting experimented and getting the mutant genes and getting tortured to become mindless soldiers. So of like what happened to Wolverine with Weapon X. In X-Men 2, that was kind of briefly mentioned, but explored in the comics. If you read the comics, but once you read the comics or watched the cartoons, the 90s cartoon for X-Men, you really don't know what the whole big deal is of Weapon X. Yeah, so... Oops. Yeah, they probably should have, might have explained that part of Logan's history better. In the past songs. Oh well, too late now. The franchise is over. See, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. You see, you have these plot points, but you treat them like Easter eggs and not really plot points. And so it turns out the child is Wolverine's biological daughter because she has Wolverine's DNA. A good chunk of it, actually. That's how she's like him. Charles is aware of this. Of course, Logan doesn't believe it until he sees her in action when she kills a bunch of guys that are after hunting her. Then Wolverine backs her up because he suddenly has a change of heart after seeing her in action. And it's kind of clear why he had a change of heart. It was because he knew that was his daughter because she was free of mutant, or was it one of the things protect his daughter or protect his own kind, or unclear. And so they're on the run, and You go to Vegas. Charles starts having a seizure because he's been lying to Logan about taking his medication and been faking taking his medication for 2 days or 2 weeks or something like that. Charles knows how long it's been, and when he says I don't know, then he just says he knows how long it's been, and he almost kind of killed everyone in the casino because his seizures telekinesis affects everyone around him close by. And later on in the film, when they're at these next people's home, before Charles gets murdered by a clone of Wolverine called X-23, I think, or X-24. X-24, I believe. His daughter's X-23. Is when the clone comes in. Charles puts two and two together how he what he did terrible, that he kind of killed his own family, half of it, when he was still when the X-Men was still a thing. It's kind of hinted at as much more obvious than the other stuff in this film, you know, and more hammered than other stuff in this film, you know. So next thing you know, Charles just gets stabbed right in the chest because he thinks that was Logan. And Logan was just helping out this nice guy that was letting them live in the house. And next thing you know, X-24 attack kills all of this nice guy's family and the guy is himself. But the guy still has a little fight left in him, so he turns the gun on Logan, thinking that he's the one that killed the guy. And then next thing you know, he gets stabbed by I think X-23. You know, his death didn't really leave that much of an impact on me, but it left more impact on me than some of the stuff that was seriously wrong with the film, you know? The stuff that's kind of glanced over, but you know, it's just, I mean, so they on the run, they go to they run into X-24's Greater, and Logan and X-24 do get out, and Logan wins, but he's losing a lot of blood, and also his healing factor is not really working. Now, it's kind of hinted at, well, not really hinted at, kind of spelled out to us at the very end, after the climax is all over with. Well, not the climax, after the big battle when Wolverine goes berserker rage, unless he's in an animal that he's kind of been holding in, and you know, so he's kind of holding in for the entire X-Men franchise and entire Wolverine franchise up until this point. And yeah, that's the problem why I find this movie a little confusing in hindsight as a franchise. Wolverine has his berserker rage and also his temperament issues that he never ever had in the entire franchise of any installments of the X-Men franchise or spin-offs before this point. And this is old man Logan, you know? This is Logan as an old man, you know? I'm saying, but as cool as it is and great as it feels, it's kind of a bit of a hard thing to swallow. Considering that way he never had any of this rage or short temper in any of the past installments up until this final installment. I mean, before it was like before up until this movie, Logan from 2017, he never had any of these character flaws that he had to overcome, or they could use to his advantage, you know? That was the character traits, you know? It's like, he didn't have these problems, like, yeah, Wolverine in the comics did, and also the cartoon Wolverine's did, for X-Men and Wolverine and X-Men show, and also the X-Men show from the 90s, the most popular one, probably, next to Wolverine X-Men show. And also X-Men Evolutions that Wolverine had it too. And also Hulk versus Wolverine. That one had two of these character traits. All of Wolverine's had these character traits and character flaws. Except for Hugh Jackman. What was his character flaw? I can tell you. Bland perfection. His character flaw is also his character trait. He was bland and perfectly fine. With his personality. Despite he doesn't talk much. Not really something you should make a movie around. That's something you should give their own spin-off around. And I can kind of see why they would want to kind of reboot his personality. Hugh Jackman Wolverine sucks. Okay? I'm just saying, it's... the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it is broke, you might as well put some glue on that and put things back together. Or break it, the nose, and give it a plastic surgery makeover. If it was so ugly and disfigured as fuck, and they just broke it just to fix it. And then do surgery on it. It's like, oh. So yeah, that's another reason. And so Hugh Jackman, Wolverine gets taken to his walk-in to his doctor by his daughter after Charles is dead and all, and good as dead and buried 6 feet underground. And Malekith's heroic sacrifice that was for nothing because he didn't kill the main bad guy. Wow. Just wow. And so yeah, he leaves the doctor, and he doesn't want any help from the doctor. But he sees there's no point in helping, so he's like sees him as dead man anyway. So Laurel is Logan's daughter and persuades him into going to fucking Mexico, over the border, and go to Mexico and be reunited with her friends, And yeah, they do that. Logan thinks she got that from a comic book because it is from a comic book, an X-Men comic. Yep. And turns out it's 100% legit location. That location is not at all 100% bullshit. That was actually put in the final production of the film. I'm scratching my head. My head has a serious fucking headache from that logic. How does that make sense at all? In what realm of any fucked up reality? I'm sure even Batmite from DC Comics, also from Batman Brave Bold video game and also a show, would even think that is pretty fucking weird. I'm pretty sure Deadpool would say that's pretty fucking weird also. Batmite's like DC's Deadpool. Except he's more of a fanboy. That's the only difference, and he's from DC Comics. In case you didn't know that. So this is something. So yeah, he gets that location. Logan doesn't take the money because some reason He somehow grew attached to Laura and doesn't take one, but doesn't stay. And says he's going to go to the nearest bar and get wasted. He says to Laura, his daughter. That's what he's going to do. Laura's pissed at him that he's leaving. Because and she knows that Laura knows that she's his like daughter, and so does Logan know that, but he's a little in denial, doesn't accept it until the end when he's on the edge of death after getting murdered by X-24. Yeah, so next day they're all gone, and then Logan sees see an army of people in a tank, army of SWAT teams and tanks going to where all of her friends are. So he needs to beat that hill one more time. He needs to be the Wolverine. So he takes all of the medicine that boosts his healing factor and it kicks it and helps jumpstart his healing factor, and takes all the medicine because he's like Lois says not to take all of the medicine, it'll wear off and kill him. But he just doesn't care. He just like takes all the medicine and to save his daughter and to save Laura and her friends. And he unleashes unleashes the Wolverine within him. And he lets out this giant roar and slices people left and right. Well, he's getting shot at it, and he's like fighting like he's a prime. He's fighting like he was in his prime, and Laura's like is shocked that he actually came in to help, and is like surprised to see him action. And they actually have a daughter and father team up. And Laura figures out that he took off the mess, and knows that it's wearing off now. Because I guess if you take less, you take it in gradual amounts, it'll last longer. But if you take it all at once, it's going to last less amount of time. So even though it kind of puts his mutant healing abilities back into the prime, it only lasts for a short period of time. So, but Logan tells us that go get your friends, and I will let you'll know when it's like when your time to you'll know the signal when you see it. So, the main bad guy sees that Wolverine. Well, he's pretty much done for. Looks like he's done for, but he confronts the bad guy, and turns out he's the son of the prick that put the antivenom poison into his entire skeleton, and that gave him also the metal claws, the adamantium claws, which is also killing him and affecting his immune abilities to heal. His healing factor. And Logan actually says that you put this poison in me. That his father put this poison in me. And that is definitely killing him for sure. And it's doing a terrific job at it, actually. And so Logan doesn't have any tricks off. It has like one less trick up his sleeve to get the drop on the main bad guy. He shoots him point blank with a gun. And he bleeds, and he's dead. He shoots him, like he just shoots him. When he's like limping and stuff, he pulls out a gun and shoots the bad guy. Truly, the gun is mightier than the sword. In this case, anyway. So that's Laurel's cue. That's the signal, and Logan gets her friends out while Logan takes on, he's bleeding to death and has barely any wind in him, and sucking wind and hunching over because he's so fucking weak is taking on X-24. His double evil counterpart. That's a clone. So he freaks out. This when Logan's about to kill X-24, he unleashes his inner rage, and when he sees his basically creator dead, the main bad guy who was like a father figure, I guess. His inner rage is like a rabid dog, actually, basically. Or Wawa. It's just like it's some sort of rabid thing. How he gets the drop on Logan, overpowers Logan. Well, Logan almost killed him, but then Logan gets killed and gets stabbed right through and through the stomach, and so it's pretty graphic. So Laurel saves her dad, Logan, and Logan observe her and her friends to take down X-24.